I can't believe I'm going to say this. NYXI have actually done it. They have cracked the Switch 2 protocol. These are the NYXI Hyperion 3 Ultras, and they have every single feature that the official Switch 2 Joy-Cons have. That's right, they are the first third-party company to release actual true Pro or Ultra Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch 2. And I'm so happy about this. I'm so happy about this. I can't wait to tell you all about it, so let's check it out. These are the Hyperion 3 Ultras. But before I start, I just want to say they did send them over for free. There's no money exchange. They don't get to see this video either. I'm just showing you immediately from me receiving them. So this is it. I've spent literally like maybe a day and a half just like having a go with them. But that's pretty much it. These are an engineering sample. So there is one thing that I want NYXI to fix with a firmware update, but it should be just a firmware update, and I will get into that because NYXI, if you're watching, please fix this. We told you about the issue with the last pair, and you managed to fix it, so well done. So these have true Switch 2 protocol. They've actually got HD linear rumble 2 motors in them. We've got TMR Air joysticks, more on that in a minute, which I'm really happy about, by the way. We've got mouse mode, woohoo, and also NFC, as well as everything else that the previous Hyperion 3s had. Now, I've specifically chosen the white ones just so that you can see there's a difference, right? The black ones are the Ultra, the white are the previous 3s, because there's one thing I want to show you physically that's very different between the two. But first off, if you've not seen the previous Hyperion 3s, these are the Ultras, of course, but these are them next to the normal Switch 2 Joy-Con. So they are much larger, aiding to better ergonomics, and they say decrease tendinitis, you know, which I kind of like because they're less crampy to hold, right? So they're much larger. So for adults and people with like larger hands, these are going to be much better than, you know, the Joy-Con 2s just here in terms of grip and everything else. But you can see we've got additional back paddles on the back there, as well as an extra button there for T for turbo, and that's allowing you to assign stuff there as well. But yeah, so the Joy-Con 2s, they're cool, but we've got replacements now. Now, as always, you can, you know, use them attached to the console or detached from the console. And because these are actual Switch 2 protocol, right, you do get wake from sleep. And now it's turned off. I'm going to press the home button and then give it a second, and there we go, it turns on. So you just click to get in, and there we go. Now they are awake. We have the official chat button access as well, because again, these are true Switch 2 protocol. So we've got 9-axis gyro still as well, because again, Switch 2 protocol. I'm going to stop saying Switch 2 protocol because I think you guys get the picture now that it's got Switch 2 protocol, right? Now we've got a metal D-pad. Now it will still come with the dish domey one, but because I've got engineering samples, I only got this one, but I actually kind of prefer this anyway. These are now magnetic. So if I pull this out, the magnets are actually stronger. So you can see inside there, they are magnetic, and it just goes punk, and it's so much nicer. And these are metal now. So I've actually got a metal one, even though they told me that the engineering sample would come with 3D printed ones. They're metal, guys. They are metal, but okay, fine. So let's just do a quick rundown. We've got our face buttons here. Everything other than the D-pad and the back paddles are using Kailh mechanical switches. So they've got clicky switches, right? So just take a quick listen. They've got micro switches, which I really like. Some people don't like how loud they are because they're very clickety-clickety like a mouse switch. And they are using Kailh mechanical switches, micro switches, right? Which are a really good brand. You're going to get 5 million click lifespan. We see them in gaming mice and stuff like that. But the D-pad and the back paddles, whilst they are still using micro switches, they are unbranded 1 million click lifespan. But still 1 million click lifespan, I'm pretty sure is on par with membrane anyway, so it's still good, but the ones that you should care about really are the face buttons, the bumpers, and the triggers, because they all have micro switches, super fast to actuate, by the way, like mega fast, really quick, like rebound time. So like when you click it, it's back up as quick as it could possibly be. I cannot talk today. It's back up as quick as it can possibly be, which makes it really good for multiple presses. Like it's basically almost like a competition grade style, right? It's just going to be super fast, super accurate, really, really good. Then we've got that T button, which I said about, which is all about the back paddle, which I'll show you very soon. We've got the chat button, which I've shown you already. We've still got the home button, right? We've got the bumpers and the triggers, which are, again, like I said, are just absolutely absolutely phenomenal. They're so good, like really, really good. D-pad is lovely, like it's so nice. I can't really tell. I feel like it's, yeah, I feel like it might be sunken into the controller just a little bit more, so it's not as sort of tall, which I do like, but whatever reason, whatever they've done with this D-pad, I feel like it's much nicer than the one on the Hyperion 3s. We still get our screenshot button as well, so there you go, capture taken, and if I press and hold, it will, you know, record a video. We still got our little boop, you know, straight off, and then once detached, you've got mouse mode. And the best bit is they've both got sensors. So it doesn't matter if you're left or right-handed, you know, you can still use it. So let's just go here. You can see that little mouse pointer, woohoo. And I'm gonna go this side. And then there you go. You can still see the mouse pointer. Now my Metroid I've got set up as like right-handed mode. So it's only gonna detect my right side being a mouse, but I'm pretty sure in the settings you can change that, but it is fast. Like it is accurate, right? Like it basically turns this into a proper gamer mouse. And for stuff like Call of Duty, which is coming out later this year, this is going to be wicked. It's actually going to be really good. And the best bit is you don't need that attachment or like some third-party attachment because the thing is so big, right? It feels good being a mouse. It just feels good because it's so large. When you use one of these, it's so thin and crampy, like it's not very nice at all. Whereas these, again, being massive, it's so much better. But yeah, really responsive, like super sensitive, which I really, really like. And yes, finally, we have HD Rumble 2. So these are using Alps linear motors and they are HD Rumble 2. So we're getting actual HD Rumble 2 here, which is absolutely amazing. The reason why I'm driving around here is because I can just feel everything. Like it feels so much better than what it was previously on, you know, the Hyperion 3s where it was just standard rotary rumble, you know, which was fine. That's all they could do at the time. That's okay. But these are actually using Alps linear HD Rumble 2 motors. And honestly, it makes a world of difference. Like it feels so much better. Like you feel pretty much everything. It just feels so good. Like it literally feels so good in comparison. Like when you compare them directly with these, it is a night and day upgrade. Like it's absolutely massive. But my favorite things by far have got to be the joystick upgrades. Now they're calling them TMR Air sticks. Okay, so basically they're using TMR joysticks instead of potentiometer or Hall effect. So potentiometer is the ones that will cause drift over time, which is what the normal Joy-Cons have, right? Which they input by friction. So there's basically two contacts rubbing on each other and that's how it will give that signal, right? Hall effect turns it magnetic, which is really, really good, but it's not as good as TMR. TMR is the next stage again. It's like Hall Effect Pro, if you want to call it that, right? TMR uses less power, so that's a big win. They're also massively, massively bigger radius of like input sensing. So what that means is they're far more accurate. They can detect smaller movements and be way more precise. They also have less dead zone and stuff like that as well. But that's not the only thing here, is this air thing that they're referring to is the fact that they've put in the silicone dampening dish under the cone of the joystick. This is what they actually do officially from Nintendo for the Pro Controller 2, where underneath the joystick cap, right, where the dish at maximum extension would grind on plastic or anything underneath that, and it always feels a bit graty and horrible. If you've had like not very nice feeling joysticks in a controller, it's because of that, generally, right? These get around that by putting a silicone dish underneath that cone. So when it's at maximum extension, instead of it's plastic hitting plastic and then rubbing and feeling horrible, it's plastic against the silicone dish and it feels fantastic. This is what's in the official Pro 2 controller for the Switch 2, right? And they've done it in these. So when you hit the maximum extension, it's now touching silicone and it is the most buttery smooth feeling you will ever feel. Like, and that is why I've got these ones here, because these are the previous Hyperion 3s, and I didn't like the joysticks in them. Whilst the joysticks themselves are great, I didn't like the feel. So not only did I feel there was too much extension, right? So on the joysticks on the official Joy-Con, there's not enough, right? It's a tiny little nubbin, as I like to call it. There's barely any movement. They're highly inaccurate. They stepped it up with the Hyperion 3s and made them super like big, like full-size joysticks, but there was almost too much extension, so they went too far, And I felt they were a bit like, whoa, I'm like overshooting here a little bit. And you can hear that clackety clack. That's that dome hitting on each side, and also the stem of the controller hitting the edge, right? So you can hear and feel that they just don't feel very nice. These are so much better. Like I can't get over it. So when you hit the edge, you're not actually hitting the edge. I don't know if you can see this on camera. I'm not even touching that RGB ring. That gate is not being touched. It's actually capping out when it's hitting that silicone dampener underneath before it hits the edge there. So it's not even touching the gate. It's like capping out before that. And that just takes the tiniest bit of throw off. So just a little bit less extension, but in the best possible way, because not only does it feel better, and listen to this, ready? Hear how damp and smooth that is versus the old ones? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, that tiny, like maybe like 5% less throw just feels so much more natural to me. Like I have like ultimate control now because I don't feel like I'm slightly overextending. Like it just feels absolutely fantastic. And they're silent, like utter silent. They do feel more budget, whereas these feel like the most premium joysticks. Like they just feel fantastic. Now, just to show you as well, there's no cardinal snapping. So it's not snapping to the axis there, which is absolutely fantastic. But here's what I want NYXI to fix. If possible, please. There is jitter. So if I try and hold it steady, there's the tiniest bit of jitter there. Do you see that blue ball is kind of shaking as if it's a little bit nervous, right? It's just got the tiniest bit of jitter, and it's very slight, like very, very slight. And I'm probably being very pedantic here, but it's just kind of wavering on the point, whereas it should probably be locked. But that is a super nitpick, and honestly, in all the games I've tried in the past sort of day and a half with these, it's not once been an issue. And I can show you that in not chat, I can show you that in Metroid here. When they're still, nothing's a problem, right? And if I just try and hold it at an angle, right, you can see there's no jitter. So if it's kind of hard because Samus here will just keep spinning, right? So I'm going to kind of just slightly move it, and you can see that the movement is smooth. It's not sort of like exaggeratedly like doing this, right? Yeah, it's not jittering all over the place. So there isn't really an issue, honestly. But if you could just sort that jitter out, which I'm pretty sure you can with a firmware upgrade, that would be wicked. Again, these are engineering samples, so just bear in mind that. But so far, these sticks are the best joysticks I've ever felt on any Joy-Con alternative. Now, the other thing we haven't talked about is the fact that these have NFC. They do have NFC, so you can use your amiibos. Unlike me, because mine are all boxed. So I can't use them because they're all boxed. Now, one thing I forgot to show you is it still comes with the charging adapter in the middle. So you can put your USB-C there and just charge them up. And yeah, you can put the old Joy-Cons on them if you so wish, which is cool. It's just thrown in the box. So you don't have to buy this separately or anything like that. It's just there and you can just attach it, which I really, really like. Now, I did mention the back paddles, and if you've got the previous ones, you know about these already, but these are the back paddles here. Now, they come disabled, which I really, really like, but you can enable them yourselves. They're super easy to use. So I'm going to show you button swap first. So I'm pretty sure, yep, A is shoot for Samus. So I'm going to press T and the back paddle at the same time. I'm going to press A and then the back paddle again. And now I have assigned the back paddle. So I can shoot with the back paddle, and I can just keep pressing it, or I can press and hold and it will act as the actual button, just like if I pressed and held on here. So it's what I call true button swap because I've reassigned it at the back, but I can still use it at the front at the same time. So there's two A buttons now, which is absolutely perfect. I love that. Now, what I can do as well is clear it by holding T in the back paddle and then just pressing the back paddle again. And now I've unassigned it, so that does nothing. But you can have up to 24 actions assigned to that back paddle at the same time, which is called a macro recording, right? So I'm just going to do some random stuff. So I'm pressing T in the back paddle. It's in recording mode. I'm going to press B. I'm going to press A. I'm going to press Y and X, and then I'll do some of the shoulder buttons as well. And then I'm going to press the back paddle. And now I'm going to press the back paddle, let go of it, leave it, And Samus here is just going to freak out and think, hey, Andy, what are you doing? Like, you're not doing anything right now. Then that's because I've just assigned that to that back pedal. However, you cannot assign turbo to that back pedal, so you cannot repeat it indefinitely. It's just a once playthrough of up to 24 actions, and then it will stop. If you want to cancel it out, press T in the back pedal once, press the back pedal again, and now that back pedal does nothing. If you want to assign turbo, let's just do it with A because that's shoot. So T and A. Now when I press it down, Samus is just going to fire as if I'm doing this, right? As if I'm pressing the button loads by just pressing and holding. She will no longer charge because it's just inputting multiple times, right? You can adjust the rate of turbo, so you can make it slower or faster with T and up and down on the joystick, which is pretty cool. And this applies to the left-hand side as well. And one thing that I want to say is you cannot assign like the right side to the left side back pedal and vice versa. You probably can in the app, but because these are developer testing ones, the app is not detecting them for me. So I wanted to show you that, but I just can't because I can't connect them to the app. But the app is where you do firmware upgrades and stuff like that. But back to turbo, right? T and A again. And now Samus is going to press it indefinitely for me as if I'm doing that, but without me having to hold the button down. Now, if I press the button once, she'll pause. If I press it again, she'll continue that. If I press T and A again, it's now cleared the turbo. And if I press and hold, now she will charge and shoot her arm cannon beam, right? And this is the same for the left side. So you can assign turbo to the left side and the same with the back pedal, right? It's the same thing, just like that. Now, before I wrap this up, how much are they going to cost? Well, here is the website, right? I'm going to go down, and in the UK, £120. Now, they're sold out because I'm filming this before they're available to pre-order, right? But they're on sale from £150 to £120. And you might be saying, Andy, what's that in dollars? It's a lot. They are reduced from $200 down to $160. So these are not going to be cheap. They're very, very expensive. However, they are the cutting, bleeding edge of third-party Joy-Cons. They have literally cracked everything with these Joy-Cons. Every Switch 2 feature that is found on the actual Switch 2 Joy-Cons, they have done. And obviously, for all the work and effort they've put in, you're going to have to pay the price if you want the absolute best. If you can live without HD Rumble 2, without NFC, and some other features, well, then you can opt for the cheaper Hyperion 3s. We've done loads of videos on these. Check them out on the channel, or just check out their website as well. But yeah, you can save a lot of money by getting these, but these are the absolute best. They are literally the Ultra, and I think they're fantastic. So what do I think of these? I mean, I'm blown away that they've managed to crack it, and basically a year and a few months since the Switch 2 came out. I was thinking it was going to still take a bit longer for someone to actually crack all of the protocols here, but they have everything. They've got chat mode, they've got mouse mode, they've got NFC, they've got HD Rumble 2, they've got 9-axis gyro, they've got fantastic TMR air sticks with the glide, silicone dampener underneath. Everything about this is a massive win. I can't actually fault anything personally, other than the fact maybe that jitter on the joystick, which should get fixed in a firmware update, and that is me being incredibly nitpicky, because otherwise this would just be a glowing showcase of this, and everyone would be like, oh, you're getting paid, even though we're not getting paid at all. I'm just super happy that someone's managed to make literally the best Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, they are very, very expensive. They really, really are, but they are going to be fantastic. Again, for games that are coming out like Call of Duty, these will be incredible for not only how accurate and wicked the joysticks are, but for the fact that you can, do mouse mode on them, right? So that is going to be absolutely fantastic. Playing Call of Duty with basically a controller and a mouse on a Switch 2, you're going to be headshotting people better than people that are playing on PlayStation and Xbox, because mouse is always more accurate than joystick input. But if you want joystick input, these have the best you can get basically anyway. So yeah, they're not for the faint of heart. They're extremely expensive, but are they freaking awesome? Yes. So if you've got a lot of money, you've been holding off and not buying any third-party Joy-Con replacements until they literally got all the features right, well, you're in luck, because we are there now. This is not the future, this is the now and the present. but it will be in the future because you'll have to wait until you get some. I'm hoping I'll get some retail units so that I can retest these properly for you and do like a proper review and, you know, retest the joysticks and stuff like that. But these engineering samples are fantastic. That's enough rambling from me because I could go on probably even longer than I already have about these. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments whilst you're down there. Like this video, subscribe, become a member. You get to chat to us on our private Discord, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.